Hey guys, I thought it would be helpful if you had the system worked out with voice, not just writing, so that if you want to watch these a couple of times to review the steps, you could. So this is number 6 from lesson 4.2 in your book. And it has two equations, which make it a system. 9 minus 5y equals 26. And 4x minus 3y equals 17. Okay, so right now we don't see this way to go about it because we don't have any coefficients that are the same or even an obvious multiple. So like 3 doesn't go into 5, 4 doesn't go into 9. So we're going to have to do some multiplication on equations to get us to obvious multiple. Than 4s and 9s, you could pick whatever you wanted to, but I know that if I multiply this equation on the top by 3 and this equation on the bottom, then I will get 15y in both places, which means that they will have the same coefficients. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to up 20x minus 15y equals 26 times 3. Please don't get that calculator out. Please. Okay. 20 times 3 is 60. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 18 is 78. You might also be nerdy enough to see 6 is more than 25. 25 times 3 is 5. I'll count quarters. And then I have one more 3, so 75 plus equals. Now, 5 times 4, that's a nice, easy, probably makes us 5 times negative 3, 5 times 17. Again, 5 times 10 is 50, 5 times 7 is 35, so 5 times 17 is 85. And now, we have two 15s, but they're both the same sign. If they're the same sign, then what do we need to do? We need to subtract. Remember, I like to put my subtraction all the way over here so that I don't start thinking this is actually a negative 20x, okay? So 27x minus 20x, 7x, 15 minus 15 gets good, 0. 78 minus 85 gets me negative 7. And that is so easy, right? X equals negative 1, right? Because we just divided by that. Negative 7 divided by 1 is negative 1. Good. Now, this looks like one of those situations where plugging back in that negative 1 is definitely going to be easy than doing the whole thing again, okay? Because the negative 1 is easy to plug in, and we already know multiple 4s and 9s to get this. We're going to plug in that negative 1. I'm just going to do it in the first one. Neither one of them looks particularly fun to me, okay? So a negative 1 is 9. Negative 9 minus 5y equals 6. So now I end up with 5y equals 35, right? Y'all agree with me? Negative 9 over there, plus 9, plus 9. And now we'll have y equals negative 7. So then I could come down here and write y equals negative 7. Or I can just write negative 1, negative 7. And now I'm going to go look at my book and make sure I'm right before I move on. We win. Negative 1, negative 7. That's what the book says. Aren't y'all proud? Proud of the book. Yay. Okay. 16. I bet it's going to be a little bit more difficult. What do y'all think? Number 16 says 7x minus 36y. 37x minus 36y. 180. And 41x minus 25. 20. Whew, those are some big numbers. I do not look forward to multiplying them. Okay. Let me look at what the instructions say in this section. They say there may be easy multiplication work. Honestly, guys, I don't see a lot of easy multiplication going to work. I do see those 36s and 24s make me a whole lot happier than 37 and 41s, right? So let's divide this whole equation by 3. Why am I going to do that? Can y'all tell me? Well, nothing's going into 37 or 41 very happily. Neither are they going to multiply out. So whatever we do here, this is going to make our feelings hurt, okay? But 36 and 180 are both easily divided. And I can divide this by 2, okay? And these two, again, are easily divided. This one's still a pain, but it's going to be a pain no matter what, apparently. So when I divide this one by 3 and this one by 2, I end up with 30. Of course, we're just holding on to that. We're not going to turn that into a decimal. That's that same problem we talked about last week. If we turn that into a whole lot. 37 thirds x minus 12y equals 60. Everybody agree with that? Divide this one by 2, and I've got 41 halves x minus 12y equals 60. Whew! Okay. So now, Okay, guys, I'm going to be real honest with y'all. Before I even go any further, this looks really funny to me. Because 60 is 0. Is 0. And it could be, but I'd be surprised. Let me look. I'm pulling out my answers here. It is! Look how fun this is going to be. Okay, so, do y'all see what I'm seeing? The reason I'm thrown a little bit? Because I know that I'm going to get a 0, and that's possible. Apparently that's right. But here we go. And this is actually going to make our lives easier. So, we're trying to get rid of our y's. 12y and 12y both have the same sign. They're both negative. So, we're going to subtract, right? Same signs we subtract. Now watch this, y'all. We're going to write this down. We're going to write 37 thirds x minus 41. Because we spotted 12 minus 12 is nothing. What's 60 minus 60? 0. See now that we don't even have to do the math. Because it doesn't matter what 37 thirds minus 41 halves is. Okay? It matters that whatever that is times x equals 0. Which means that x equals 0. Okay? So now come back up here and plug in for x, our 0. On to the very top one, we now plugged in a 0, so we're just going to cover it up. Minus 30, oh, you can't see me, sorry. We plugged in a 0, so we're just going to cover it up. Minus 36y equals 180, so divide both sides by 36, or by negative 36, rather. And 180 divided by negative 36. Guys, this is how much I love a fraction. I'm not getting out my calculator or doing long division. I'm looking at that and seeing that 9 both of them very easily. And I'm going like that. See how 9 into 180 is 20? And use negative 36 is 4 divided by negative 4. Negative 5. So y equals negative 5. And because this was weird and funky, I'm going to check it on my next one. Remember how we talked about you need to, whatever you plug in for x should get you the same y both times. So I'm now going to put in my 0 for my x in the second equation. So I'm just going to cover it up. I say 120 divided by negative 24. Again, I am not even thinking about writing down a long division problem or using my calculator because I see so many things in common with those two numbers. And I'm just going to, I see a bigger number that's going to get me there faster, but I'm going to show y'all what you could do. You could say, I don't know what else they have in common, but they're certainly both even. So 120 divided by 2 gets me to 60 over 12, okay? The whole thing divided by 2 again gets me to 30 over negative 6, okay? You can keep going like that, right? You can say, oh, they're still even. Now I'm at 15 over negative 3. Hopefully at that point you do see that 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. Look at there. Same thing. We must be right. We're going to our answers, which I had open a second ago. And number 16 in the book says 0, negative 5. So that one was weird, friends, because we ended up with a 0 answer. But it made our lives easier because we didn't have to find a common denominator of 37 divided by 3 minus 41 over 2. Okay, I'm going to stop this video because it's getting too long, and then I'm going to record another one for our other problems. We're doing well.